What in the Invoked happened here? Yeah, God, I know I am so far behind today. It is crazy. Make sure you guys smash some crap out of that hyper invoked AON button so you guys don't miss out more Oz content. So I guess this kind of took people by surprise over the last couple of days, seeing hyper invoked AON actually kind of crawling up the charts here and starting to disappear in price. Now, why is AON starting to go up in price? Well, it's pretty simple. We already had the invoked hype that was coming through last week that was really kind of taking people by surprise then, but there was another deck that can actually use this card, and its name is Dear Old Branded, because the summoning conditions are 2+ fusion monsters with different attributes. That's not a problem for a deck like, Branded to be able to do. And obviously, it's a super poly target. You can generically make it with certain card combinations within the deck, which is fine. And then, of course, it provides you with the ability to banish things from the field or graveyard attached to a 3,800 a body, which is great. And then, of course, in a scenario where, this thing comes up as a super poly target, you can start ripping things from your opponent's extra deck, which is, kind of crazy. On top of it, it itself works as a floodgate, being able to convert attributes on the field. It's not a good floodgate by any sort of the imagination, but it's one of the ones that we don't really get the chance to really talk about. Attribute changing effects are very, very interesting when you start to explore, the different little ideas and experimental phases that the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Has gone through. So, yes, AON is seeing some major play right now as a tech choice. I am not surprised to see that, things are starting to kind of finally catch up with this. And, the card going from $5 up to $12 is pretty impressive, honestly. Now, Risal Detonator. So if you have been paying attention to a couple things, we talked about the OCG breakdown on Saturday. We started to, realize, oh, hey, Risal cards are starting to see some pretty major splashability with tunes. Well, that's, I guess not surprising, right? If you look at the remainder of the Risal package, Risal is still the best rank 4 package within the game. And also, if you're looking at tunes, tunes are one of the most splashable engines within the game. You're actually able to do so much little crazy stuff within the vacuum of that deck that I guess having Detonator be part of the strategy is just not, concerning to say the least. But because of this, there's also been Blitzclick that's been trying to adapt playing the Risal package in the deck, right? Because, putting a Detonator on the field and then, locking yourself out of the hand is kind of the strategy deck wants to do. And then, of course, there's another rank 4 deck that just started popping up this week that wanted to start testing around with this, which is the Umbral Horror stuff. So, the rank 4 stuff, at least the generic good stuff, is back on the table. I don't think we're going to see a removal of Risal anytime soon from this equation, because the realistic part is, good rank 4 turbo good stuff being back in the game is not necessarily a bad thing. It's just, unfortunately, does Detonator need to get banned to make it not all look like, the same slop? But that's an entirely, maybe 6 months to a year away discussion. But for now, Risal cards are definitely on the topic of watchability just because of their impact on Japan, the early ideas that we're seeing here being developed, and so forth. Oh, Relinquished Anima QCRs. Huh. I guess this is the first time we've seen a tin QCR actually kind of going up in price. To kind of look at things, because honestly, I'm a little bit surprised about this. I guess we had like the tin Blue Eyes White Dragon and, the Dark Magician Girl, and I guess some of the Exodia pieces are starting to be $8 a piece. That's a little bit of a fun fact, but why Relinquished Anima now, of all things? So here's the thing. If you are generically looking at amazing extra deck cards that, are going to splash in and just be staples over time, the fact of the matter is 99% of the time, Anima is probably going to come up as a topic of discussion. because, I mean, it just kind of makes the most sense, right? It's an amazing card. It gets the ability to suck up something, provide you with some amazing answers to problems that exist on the board. I think that's by far like the definition of a staple at this point. Any deck that plays a 1, you know, this is automatically a stepping stone to trigger an SP effect straight off the bat too, which is also very, very important. Man, it's staple-esque extra deck cards that can provide you with groundbreaking effects. I mean, I guess we can consider this groundbreaking in order to get some things going. It's pretty good, but I'm not surprised. Anima is one of those cards that we have looked at over the years, and we should have known that, you know, in its previous iterations, the card also had some decent value going for it. So I do very much look forward to seeing how, you know, long-term we're going to hold out for Anima and so forth. But for now, you know, cards heading up to the $8 mark. If you've been holding back on wanting to getting a QCR, I mean, listings are really kind of starting to drop down on these. I think that's honestly the more interesting thing in my opinion. And then we have Wanted. Oh my god. So Wanteds are very, very scarce on the market for some of the high rarity options right now. Now what's going on with this? So we know that we have the Sinful Spoils lore coming in the near future. Alright, with the Sinful Spoils lore, I mean, Wanted and Diabellstar, those two cards together are the pinnacle and definition of what you would expect to be kind of working together, right? It's a draw, it's an ad. It's amazing. But in modern era Yu-Gi-Oh! Out here, you got the Ritual of Light and Darkness deck that's choosing to play this for the exact same reason, you know. But this is tied to an Omni Negate. Yeah, who would have guessed, right? When your deck can produce an Omni Negate and then be able to roll through a lot of potential control against the opponent, that, you know, you were just going to get some free blowout potential against the opponent. And that's basically what Wanted is, right? It's a free ad, it's an Omni Negate, it's a draw. Well, why does one card get to provide you with all of that underneath, you know, one potential ceiling? And honestly, I don't know. I think that's pretty messed up that you get that much raw advantage just to be able to work with things. So I will say seeing nearly $200 copies of this is not surprising. We've already seen that the lower rarity versions have been definitely keeping up with a lot of the times. And just overall right now, it's quite amazing. So this is a symptom of current metagame actually application, and I do hope that, you know, if we do get a legendary deck or a Chronicles deck around the Sinful Spoils, which there's definitely enough Sinful Spoils stuff to be able to print it, you know, getting a cheaper Wanted at the end of that package I think would be pretty nice. This last one is just really for me. King of the Swamp Hobby Leagues. What in the world has happened to this thing? So, for those of you that don't know, there are very niche Yu-Gi-Oh! Well, I guess that's one, like, big thing about Yu-Gi-Oh! Is we have such niche rarities and such older niche sets that some of these cards just, they're so rare to get anymore. The Hobby League cards, you know, there were cards that existed before those weird Hobby League foils that Ultra Pro did. Or Upper Deck did. So these were like super rares that existed. Right now, the only available listing of Hobby League Super King of the Swamps in a playable condition is $439.84 with $2.99 shipping. These look like they were just kind of wiped out off of the market over time. We did have a sale at a near minute 63 and a mod play at $34.98, which this is just an extremely niche rarity because there's already an alternative to the King of the Swamp, super rare, that's been floating around in other previous sets because it came out in Fusion Enforcers and that version's $3. The main difference here is, you know, old card frame versus new card frame for when it comes to, you know, wanting to enjoy it. I mean, also, it's King of the Swamp. I mean, like, it's a fusion subber. It discards searches for poly. It's a cool card, but, you know, this is the what in the world happened here segment. So, I mean, what in the world happened here? We finally see King of the Swamp Hobby Leagues doing some of the dumbest things I have ever actually seen in this game. Awesome. So what do you guys think about today's segment? Sorry I'm late on everything today, but I needed sleep. It's been a weekend. You guys have a good rest of your day and stay safe out there, all right? Patrons! Thank you! Ah!
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.